Legend of Yufei Chapter 10.
New Gau's at the first stall. You can almost imagine the sound, the storyteller's clapper, the focused crowd.
And the story being told is a big one. The Northern Song, Golden Spear Overthrowing Horse. It's part of the larger Yang family generals saga.
Ah, the Yang family generals. Even I've heard of them.
Oh, absolutely. They're pillars of Chinese folklore. Known for loyalty, incredible fighting skills, patriotism, the whole package. They really represent this ideal of collective bravery, sacrificing for the empire.
So what part of their story is being told here?
It starts with Emperor Taizong.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of lured by this advisor, Pan Renmei, to go to Mount Wutai
Why? What's there?
to see a spiritual mirror, the Tu-Ling Pei,
Hmm.
supposedly magical. And in it, he sees this incredible five-colored light
Okay.
emanating from Empress Dowager Shao, who's in Yuzu. So the emperor naturally gets curious. He decides he has to go to Yuzu himself.
Uh-oh. Sounds like a bad idea.
And that's exactly what Yang Yi thinks. He's the old commander of the Song Golden Saber, the head of the Yang family. He steps up, bravely opposes the trip, warns the emperor it's dangerous.
Showing his wisdom.
Exactly, his foresight. He's willing to risk angering the emperor to give sound advice. That's part of his heroism, you know.
But the treacherous advisor, Pan Renmei, he twists it, right?
He does, makes Yang Yi sound obstructive, and
Mhm.
convinces the emperor to imprison Yang Yi. And his sons, too,
No. So the voice of reason is silenced.
locked away.
Hmm.
And the emperor, well, he just marches off towards Yuzu.
Right into danger, I'm guessing.
Precisely. Because Tianqi Langwang and his advisor, Sarima Dada, they've laid this absolutely brilliant trap.
What kind of trap?
A massive one. We're talking 1 million troops, gathered from 72 islands, all positioned to encircle the emperor completely in Yuzu. It's quite the military setup.
1 million troops. How does he possibly get out of that?
That's where another hero comes in. 800 Li Jing Shanwang Hu Bixian. Let's just call him Hu Bixian.
Hey, who Bixian? What does
Yeah.
he do?
He thinks fast, uses a clever trick, a ruse. He pretends he's going back to the capital to get the imperial seal, promising to hand over the Central Plains,
He bluffs his way out.
basically. It deceives the Liang Wang. He orders the release of Yang Yi and his sons
Is that time?
and tasks them with the near impossible: charge back towards Yuzu and relieve the siege. This becomes legendary.
What's it called?
8 tigers charge Yuzu. A classic tale of the Yang family's collective courage.
Incredible story. So the storyteller finishes? Then
Yeah.
what happens?
This is where it gets interesting. A man, dressed all in white, steps up. He pulls out 2 silver ingots. Big ones.
2 ingots for a story.
Right. Nu Gao is baffled, but the man gives it to the storyteller, saying it's not too light a payment. Then he turns to his companion, a man in red, and boasts
Boasts about what?
about his ancestors. He says something like 2 ingots. That's nothing. My ancestors, the Yangs, 9 of them, unbeatable in a 1,000,000-man army. Even 10 ingots wouldn't be enough.
Ah, so he's showing his pride and his wealth, I guess.
Exactly. He's making a statement. But hold on, because the day's not over for Nu Gao.
There's more.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Across another storyteller, another crowd, and a different epic tale.
Which one this time?
This one's from Xing Tang Zhuan. It focuses on the heroes of the Tang Dynasty.
So a different era, different heroes.
Yeah, and often a different kind of heroism. While the Yangs are about collective effort, Xing Tang Zhuan often highlights incredible individual feats of martial power, almost superhuman stuff.
Okay, so what's the story here?
The storyteller is describing a moment with Qin Wang Li Shimin at Jiazhuo Mountain. But the focus is on Luo Cheng,
Luo Cheng. Who's he?
only the 7th best fighter in the world, according to this play.
7th best. Wow, what did he do?
Get this. The military advisor orders him, alone, to capture 5 enemy kings: Wang Shichong, Zhu Kan, Gao Tanqing, Du Jian, and Meng Haigong. All powerful figures,
He captures 5 kings by himself.
single-handedly. It's this incredible display of individual fighting skill. Very different from the Yang family saving the emperor together, you know.
Yep.
It raises questions about what counts as greater heroism.
I see the contrast. So what happens after the story?
Now, the man in red, the companion of the first guy, he steps forward.
Yeah.
He pays the storyteller 4 silver ingots,
Yeah.
double the amount. And he's all humble, like, hope this isn't too little.
4 ingots. Okay, now something's definitely going on.
You think? Paying double for a story about one ancestor compared to another. It's not just appreciation, right? It's a public declaration.
A challenge almost.
It's setting the stage for one. Why pay more? Why boast about one ancestor over another group? It's all about ancestral pride.
So who are these guys, really? The man in white and the man in red.
Ah, the big reveal. The man in white who paid for the Yang story, he's Yang Zexing,
A descendant of Yang Linggong, the original Yang Ye.
a direct descendant. And the man in red who paid double for Luo Cheng's story, he's Luo Yanqing.
A descendant of Luo Cheng, of course.
Exactly. So now their argument makes sense. It's personal.
What's Luo Yanqing's justification for paying more? Why does he think his ancestor was better?
He literally says Luo Cheng was fiercer because he, one man, took down 5 kings.
Fiercer. Interesting word choice.
Isn't it? It highlights this focus on raw individual power. He contrasts it with the Yang, saying, look, even 9 of you couldn't fully guarantee the emperor's safety initially, but my guy Luo Cheng, he handled 5 kings solo.
Oof. That's a direct hit on the Yang family honor.
Absolutely. He's questioning their effectiveness, their very claim to legendary status, based on this idea of individual versus collective achievement.
And how does Yang Zexing react to the Yang descendant?
Oh, he's furious. Instantly defensive. You can imagine, right? Someone publicly slighting your legendary ancestors. It's deeply personal. His family's honor is on the line.
You mentioned earlier how important this was culturally.
Immensely important. We have to understand, these storytelling venues weren't just for fun. They were public arenas. Places to assert your family's standing, to bask in the reflected glory of your ancestors.
So these stories were living things, directly tied to people's identity and social status.
Precisely. For guys like Yang Zexing and Luo Yanqing, these weren't just old tales. They were their heritage, their claim to fame, their honor. It was intensely real and present for them.
So their argument, it doesn't just stay verbal, does it?
No way. It escalates quickly. Yang Zexing throws down a challenge.
What kind of challenge?
He says, basically, let's settle this. He suggests they both grab their weapons, head over to the small parade ground,
A public space?
yeah, practice field, and have a martial arts contest right then and there.
To prove who's tougher.
Not just tougher. His exact words are to snatch the Zhuangyuan.
Zhuangyuan, what's that?
That was the title given to the top scorer, the champion in the imperial military examinations, the ultimate martial honor.
So he's proposing a formal duel to decide whose ancestor, and by extension whose family, is superior.
Exactly. It's not just a fight, it's a symbolic battle. Whoever wins doesn't just win the fight, they win the argument. They publicly elevate their entire family line, proving their ancestors' legacy is the greater one. The stakes are incredibly high.
Wow. So a simple afternoon listening to stories turns into this high-stakes duel over ancestral bragging rights. It really shows how alive these traditions were.
It really does. It shows that world where myth, history, personal honor, and public status were all tangled together.
Nu Gao. And the whole thing really kicks off when he overhears something important. He hears people talking about someone trying to snatch the Zhuangyuan. Now we need to know, Zhuangyuan here isn't like top student. It means the champion, the #1 spot in a martial arts contest.
Right, the top fighter.
Exactly. And Nu Gao's reaction is just immediate. He doesn't wake his friends, doesn't ask questions. He just decides right then and there he has to get this Zhuangyuan for his big brother. What does that tell us about him, like, right off the bat?
Well, it's pretty striking, isn't it? His decision-making is incredibly fast, almost impulsive, you could say.
Yeah.
But it's rooted in this deep loyalty. He genuinely thinks he's doing the right thing, the noble thing for his big brother. It's sort of this archetype, you know, unwavering belief, even if it's totally off base.
Yeah, misguided conviction.
Exactly. And that kind of fierce loyalty, it can drive people to do, well, dramatic and sometimes chaotic things. It's a theme you see a lot in these epics, personal bonds over careful planning. And notice, he even grabs his weapon, his double-pronged jian, before sneaking off. He's instantly ready for a fight, even as he's trying to be quiet.
It's almost kind of charming in a really blunt way, that single-minded focus.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nu Gao, full of purpose, saddles up his horse. But then, and this is where it gets really good, he immediately gets lost.
Ah, yes. The directions.
Right. He finds 2 old men and asks for directions to the Xiaozhou Cheng, the training ground. Can you sort of walk us through this bit? Because how he asks is something else.
Oh, it really is. It's a fantastic character moment, even though it seems small. He basically yells at them, "Hey, old man, Grandpa asks you, where's the Xiaozhou Cheng?"
Grandpa asks you.
Yeah. And then he threatens them if they don't answer fast enough.
Yeah.
It instantly shows you he's rough, maybe even a bit boorish.
Yeah.
No social graces whatsoever.
And how do the old guys react?
Well, first, they're just stunned into silence. Then one of them calls him a reckless ghost, which is brilliant, and tells him to be careful in the capital. Then they give him the directions, but they're sighing about how rude he is. They even mutter, "There's no one in the world as stupid as this."
Wow.
So it perfectly highlights this contrast, right? He's probably incredibly strong, physically capable, but just completely lacks tact. He even adds this threat like, if it weren't for my big brother, I'd hit you. It's that mix of brute force and cluelessness that makes it kind of funny.
That reckless ghost line is just perfect. It
Yeah.
feels so real. Okay, so New Gao, finally pointed in the right direction, gets to the Zhao Chang. He hears someone shout, "Good spear!" He rushes in, sees two guys, Yang Zixing and Luo Yanqing, fighting fiercely, top-level fighters. And New Gao, what's his grand entrance?
Uh-huh. Well, he just charges in shouting, "The Swang Yuan belongs to my big brother! How dare you two try to take it here? See, Grandpa's gene!" And he swings right at Yang Zixing's head.
Just like that. No intro, just attack.
Exactly. Talk
Yep.
about a dramatic entrance.
So what does this immediately tell us about the kind of fight we're about to see?
Well, it tells us it's based on a complete misunderstanding, not real animosity. Yang Zixing and Luo Yanqing, they're clearly experts. Yang easily blocks the attack, and he even notices how heavy New Gao's weapon is. So he recognizes the strength there.
Okay.
But, and this is key, their reaction isn't to fight him seriously. Yang actually says to Luo basically, this guy is just some wild man, let's just mess with him, make fun of him.
So they don't even see him as a real opponent.
Not really, no.
Yeah.
More like an amusing interruption to their own serious duel. It tells you a lot about their confidence, their skill level. They see him as, like, sport.
So this sets up a very lopsided kind of fight.
Absolutely.
And the description of the fighters is great. Yang Zixing has this rotten silver spear, maybe meaning powerful or just how it looks. And Luo Yanqing is described as strong as a god with a gold-chiseled spear. New Gao tries blocking with his two silver platter head guards, but he's just outclassed. He can't keep up.
He's completely overwhelmed.
So it makes you wonder, like you said, they're just making fun of him. Why don't they just, finish it? Take him down quickly if they're so much better.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And the text gives us a specific reason. It says they're in the capital city.
Okay.
And because they're in the capital, they dare not harm his life. There are rules, consequences. So it's not just about toying with him for fun, it's also strategic restraint. They intentionally just pin him, control him, make sport of him, yeah, but they avoid causing serious injury.
That's interesting. So it shows their discipline, too, contrasting with New Gao's wildness.
Exactly. It highlights their thinking, their awareness of the situation, compared to New Gao's just brute force charge based on a mistake. And it cleverly extends the scene, building things up.
Right. It keeps him in the picture, struggling. So he's getting pinned, basically getting played with, and then he shouts something.
Ah, yes, the big moment.
He yells, "Big brother, if you don't come soon, the Zhuang Yuan will be snatched by someone else." This feels like a real turning point. Changes everything, doesn't it?
Oh, completely. Because suddenly Yang and Luo stop just being amused. That cry catches them totally off guard. Their reaction shifts from, let's mess with this guy, to curiosity. They think, wait, big brother, who's he calling for? This simpleton must have someone capable backing him up.
So they think there might be a real fighter coming.
Precisely. They figure, let's wait and see who this big brother is. So now they deliberately keep pressing New Gao, keep him tangled up, stop him from getting away, not just for sport anymore, but specifically because they want to meet this mysterious big brother. Their hero, Yu Fei. He wakes up at this inn, only to realize New Gao isn't there. He's missing.
And it's not just that he stepped out for air. His signature weapon, these twin Jan, they're like heavy double corpse. They're gone too, taken right off the wall.
That immediately signals trouble, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And Yu Fei's reaction tells you everything. The text says he doesn't just look worried, his face turns ashen, pure white.
Wow.
He instantly tells his other brothers, basically, get ready, we might need to run for our lives if New Gao has stirred something up.
So right away, the tension is super high. It tells you a lot about New Gao's reputation, maybe.
Definitely implies he's a bit of a trouble magnet, a known quantity when it comes to potential chaos.
Okay, so they've got this sense of dread hanging over them. What's the first step? Find him, obviously.
Right. They ask the innkeeper. Simple enough.
Yeah.
The innkeeper says, yeah, New Gao left maybe an hour ago. Said something about watering his horse headed east.
East, so they have a direction at least.
They head out, following the trail, and soon they come across these two elderly people by the road. The description's quite nice. Clapping hands and stomping feet, just chatting away, enjoying themselves.
A peaceful scene, contrasting with their urgency.
Exactly. And Yu Fei, being Yu Fei, he's incredibly polite. He bows with clasped hands, asks if they've seen anyone like his brother pass by.
And this is where we get that outside perspective on New Gao, right?
Precisely. The old man's response is gold. He basically says, "You, sir, you seem so refined, so cultured." But the fellow who came by earlier, totally different. He describes New Gao as crude and reckless.
Doesn't pull any punches.
Not at all. He even mentions how New Gao basically shouted at him, aggressively demanding directions to a small training ground. Xinyu Xiaog in Chinese.
So New Gao is already making a bad impression even before whatever trouble he's found. He really just barrels through, doesn't he?
Seems like it. But crucially, the old man does point them in the right direction, towards this training ground.
Okay, so the chase is on. They head towards this small training ground. What do they find when they get there?
Well, even before they see anything, they hear New Gao. He's yelling something like, "If Big Brother doesn't get here soon, the champion title will be snatched by somebody else."
Champion title. Okay, that's interesting. What's the scene like? Is he actually winning this championship?
Winning. Not even close. The text paints a pretty grim picture. New Gao's face is pale. He's frothing at the mouth, clearly exhausted and getting hammered.
Oh, dear. Who's he fighting?
2 opponents. And they sound seriously formidable. One's on a white horse with a rotten silver spear. The other's on a red horse with a chiseled gold spear. They described as being like heavenly generals, just circling him, attacking relentlessly. New Gao is totally outclassed.
Wow. So he picked a fight way above his weight class.
Looks like it. He's completely tangled up, struggling just to survive.
Seeing his brother in such dire straits, what does Yufei do?
He doesn't hesitate. Tells his other brothers, "Stay back. I'll handle this."
Just like that. He's going in alone against these 2 heavenly generals.
Yep. He charges right in, shouting, "Stop harming my brother." Classic heroic entrance.
And how does he handle these 2 skilled fighters who are just overwhelming New Gao?
This is where it gets really cool. We see Yufei's incredible skill. The 2 fighters turn their spears towards him naturally, but Yufei does something unexpected. He doesn't block in a typical way. He throws his spear downwards. There's this sound, clang, and somehow both their spearheads just hit the ground. Disarmed, sort of.
But did he do that?
It's not fully explained, but immediately after, he uses his hands to grab the upper part of their spear shafts. He controls their weapons.
Incredible control.
The text calls this technique Bai Kuang. That translates to defeated spear or spear defeat. And it says it's a technique from which there is no way to be saved. It implies total control, using leverage and maybe joint locks or pressure points against their grip. It's not just strength. It's deep martial arts knowledge.
Wow. That sounds like some next-level skill. So he neutralizes both of them almost instantly.
Pretty much, with one move, seemingly.
How do the 2 opponents react to suddenly being, well, defeated?
They are stunned. The text says, greatly startled. They immediately recognize they're facing someone on a completely different level.
Makes sense.
And their reaction is fascinating. They instantly say, the champion for this term must be this person, meaning Yufei.
Just like that. They concede.
Yes. And then they introduce themselves properly. Yang Zixing from behind the mountains and Luo Yanqing from Huang, giving their names and origins.
Okay.
And they say, quite formally, that they will temporarily yield this term's champion title to Yufei. They acknowledge his superiority and basically say, okay, you win this round, we'll meet again.
That shows a real code of honor, doesn't it?
Right.
Even in the middle of a fight they started, they see superior skill and just yield respectfully.
It really does. It says a lot about the martial world depicted here. Respect for true ability seems paramount. They then just pack up their stuff at the inn and leave. No lingering resentment, apparently.
Amazing. Okay, so the immediate danger is gone. The formidable opponents have left. Now Yufei can finally talk to New Gao.
Right. Time for the debrief. Yufei asks him basically, what on earth were you thinking? Why did you start this fight?
But what's New Gao's explanation? Still catching his breath, probably.
Exactly. He's still panting, and he says, Big Brother, I was trying to seize the champion title for you.
For Yufei.
Yeah. He admits the opponents were incredibly fierce, way tougher than he expected, and he couldn't beat them.
Oh, New Gao.
Yeah.
His heart was in the right place, maybe. Just completely misguided.
Utterly. And Yufei's response is perfect. It's almost funny. He points out the absurdity. He says something like, New Gao, this champion title, this Wang Yun, that's something you compete for against all the heroes under heaven. In a formal contest, only if nobody can beat you, then you're the champion. How, Yufei asks, can 2 or 3 people just fight it out privately in some random training round and decide who gets it?
So Niu Gao heard champion and thought it was like, I don't know, king of the hill, first one to claim the spot wins.
Pretty much. He completely misunderstood the context. The Zhuang Yuan title was usually linked to the top scorer in the imperial military examinations, a massive formal event, not some back alley brawl.
Right, that makes his whole effort seem, well, pointless.
Exactly. Niu Gao realizes his mistake right then. The text says he sheepishly admits, I fought them both for half the day for nothing. All that effort, all that danger, based on a total misunderstanding.
Yufei and his companions. You've got Teng Wai, Zhang Jian, Wang Yi.
And Niu Gao. Can't forget the boisterous Niu Gao.
Right, and they're looking for swords. But, like we said, this isn't casual shopping. Their need is serious, it's practical. The text uses the phrase, unhane,
Which translates pretty directly to battle defense and securing the nation. So, not just personal defense, but the country's stability.
It really hits home, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This isn't about looking cool. It's about survival, the future even. And what strikes me immediately is that even though Wang Yi offers to pay, cover the costs.
A very generous offer.
Yeah, but they're not just grabbing the first thing they see. They are actively searching for true quality. It says a lot about their purpose.
Absolutely. Value here isn't just price, it's fitness for this incredibly serious purpose. And that really sets up their initial, frustration. They're going shop to shop on the main streets.
And finding nothing suitable.
Exactly. The source calls it upkate, just common stuff. Ordinary merchandise. It says there's kagia, basically nothing with a good steel temper. It immediately tells you what they need. It's rare.
It's not your everyday item.
Definitely not. It nicely sets the stage. They need the sword, not just a sword.
Precisely. So realizing the main street is, a dead end for what they need, they try something different. They duck into a small alley.
Always the alleys where the interesting things happen.
Seems like it here. And they find this shop. It's got antiques, but also a few swords. So Yufei starts inspecting them really rigorously. Looks at several. Finds them all unsatisfactory. He even says, quite bluntly, hey, share.
These kinds of swords are useless.
Right. Useless for their purpose. He's incredibly discerning.
Yeah.
Laser focus.
And it's that focus, that clarity about needing a sword for RSing. Plus, Niu Gao chiming in, basically saying, Harase, name your price in silver, we won't short you.
Niu Gao, ever the direct one.
Exactly. That combination convinces the owner. He realizes, okay, these guys are...
They know good merchandise.
And that immediately kind of raises the stakes. You start wondering what kind of sword would impress these guys.
Yeah.
And it's exactly that, their discerning taste, that makes the shop owner go, oh, wait, I do have one really good sword.
But it's not here.
Exactly. It's at my home, he says. So he calls for his brother to come and take them there. And get this, the description of the brother is, wow. It says,
He's wearing this specific cap, a Jinyang cap.
that description immediately signals something different, doesn't it? It hints at maybe a scholarly background, maybe even some connection to martial traditions, but refined. Someone guarding something valuable.
It definitely raises the stakes. This isn't just a transaction anymore.
No, it feels like entering a different realm almost, a gateway to something special.
So they follow this elegant guide. They walk for Wushu, about 2 Chinese miles, maybe a bit more than an English mile, and they arrive at a Siena, a grass hall. Simple, the text says, but elegant. Surrounded by weeping willows, and a low stone wall.
Sounds peaceful, understated.
It does. But inside, this is the aha moment, at least for me. Before the guide even says his name, Yufei figures out his surname. He knows it's Vu.
How does he do that? Just a guess?
No, this is where Yufei's depth really shows. He's not just looking, he's observing, intensely. He sees the eye, the ancient paintings on the wall, and crucially, these couplets.
Couplets, like poetry.
Exactly. 2 lines. The first, Cai Zi, Willowcamp tests horses in spring. The second, Cai Shi, Tiger General discusses military affairs at night.
Okay, interesting lines. Military theme. But how does that give him the name Zhu?
Ah, this is brilliant. Yufei connects those specific lines to history. He knows and explains that these couplets were a gift. They were given by Yu Di, that's Li Yin Wang, a prince from the Tang dynasty, gifting them to a famous general named Zhu Dai.
So seeing those specific couplets tells him the family name must be Zhu. It's deduction based on deep historical and literary knowledge.
That's incredible. It's not just about swordsmanship. It's about intellectual depth, understanding context.
Totally. And it contrasts so well with New Gao, who's probably getting impatient, wanting to just ask the guy's name.
Huh. Probably. Just tell us your name already.
Meanwhile, Yu Fei's putting the pieces together. And sure enough, the guide introduces himself, confirms he is Zhu Sanwei. Then Zhu Sanwei brings out the sword. The Hu. The treasure sword.
The moment of truth. And Yu Fei's reaction is fascinating. He draws it just slightly, only 3 or 4 inches.
Not the whole blade.
No, just a
Okay.
few inches out of the sheath. And immediately, he feels this. A chilling aura, intense coldness.
Wow. Just from that glimpse.
Yeah, and he instantly, almost reverently, pushes it back in. He doesn't need to see more.
That speaks volumes, doesn't it? He recognizes the immense quality, the power, maybe even the spirit of the sword from just that tiny reveal.
Exactly. His understanding is that profound. And then he said something really significant. So this is your family's treasure, worth cities. How could I, a mere youngster, dare to covet it?
Worth city. So not just valuable, but priceless in a way. And he shows immense respect. It's not about buying it anymore.
Right. It's reverence. He understands this isn't just merchandise. It's an heirloom. It has history, a soul almost.
And that leads perfectly into the next part, the inheritance aspect.
Yes. Zhu Sanwei explains. This sword is an ancestral heirloom, passed down through generations of Trudemia military officers in the family.
Ah, so a lineage of warriors.
But, he says, his family has, for the last 3 generations, they've shifted to study literature, not warfare.
Interesting shift. So the martial tradition is dormant in a sense.
Exactly. And this is where the grandfather's will comes in. It's extraordinary.
What did it say?
Zhu Sanwei quotes it. Zhu Sanwei quotes it.
Okay, let's translate that carefully.
It means if a later person, not necessarily a descendant, but anyone, recognizes the origin of this sword.
Recognizes its origin, so knows its history, like Yu Fei just demonstrated with the couplets.
Precisely. Then this sword can be gifted to them, and not a single coin should be accepted.
Wow. That's profound. The inheritance isn't automatic. It's not about blood relation necessarily. It's activated by knowledge, by discernment, by recognizing the sword's true nature and history.
It's like the sword itself is a test.
Absolutely. A test of wisdom, of understanding. It's not about who can afford it, but who understands it, who is worthy of its legacy because they grasp its significance. The value isn't monetary. It's historical, cultural, maybe even spiritual.